You've lost weight before, probably more than once, but every time something gets in the way from you being able to keep it off. Work gets stressful, a trip comes up, and before you know it, you're back to your old habits. Today, we're going to talk about why you keep reverting back to old habits, and most importantly, how to break the cycle for good so you can achieve your weight loss goals and maintain it for the rest of your life. Welcome to the Fit and Fulfilled Show. If you're a busy professional woman who wants to finally prioritize your health and happiness, this is the place to be. I'm your host, Soraya Russell, certified macronutrition coach, mindset coach, and lifestyle transformation coach. And each week, I share practical strategies to help you build sustainable habits, boost your energy, become obsessed with what you see when you look in the mirror, and feel confident and strong in your body, all without feeling stressed, burned out, or guilty. Let's dive in. So, if you have regained weight more than once and you feel embarrassed about it, I want you to know that it's not your fault and it's actually very common. I will say that pretty much every single client I've ever worked with in our coaching program has lost weight a few times before coming to us and always gains it back because they have not broken the cycle. But the cycle stops here and now because I'm going to help you understand what's going on and how to overcome it once and for all. The first and one of the biggest reasons I find that women end up going back to the old habits and not being able to maintain their weight loss is because you're following a plan, not building a life. What I mean by this is most diets, programs, challenges have an end date, a 30-day challenge, a 60-day challenge, a 90-day challenge. And so you're probably working out maybe every day during that challenge. You're cutting out carbs every day, you're juicing, whatever it is. And then at the end of the challenge, it's over. There's no rules or strategies to transition back into normal life. So you're not building a new lifestyle. You're not building new habits. You're following strict rules for this specific period of time with no guidance on how to make it a lifestyle. And the biggest thing is a lot of these things that have these specific end dates are not able to become lifestyles because they are so restrictive. And what makes it worse is most plans are generic. So if you follow some sort of diet, right, say that you are going low carb or not eating carbs at all, or say that you are doing maybe 30 days, only vegetables and fruit or something like that, you can get through it because you know there's an end date. Right. And so a lot of women can get through these 30-day challenges because they're like, you know what, I can, suffer through it. I can get through it because at the end of the 30 days, it'll be over and I'll have these amazing results. But the issue with this is you're not having the mindset of someone who's like, okay, these are just my habits now that I'm going to maintain. You have the mindset of, I'm going to do this now. I know it's going to be over at this period of time, and then I'll be where I want to be with my weight. But you're not going to maintain those habits that you built during that 30 days because they're not sustainable. Like I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and she was telling me, we had a really honest conversation because she lost weight before her wedding, about 30 pounds working with this trainer. And she gained weight after the wedding because, her and her husband just eating out, having a good time. You know how the weight creeps up. And so she went back to that same trainer to lose weight again. And I was talking to her, I was like, okay, what did this trainer have you doing? And she was like, I'm gonna be honest, Soraya, I know it's not something I should really be doing long term. And she was telling me the trainer gave her a really strict meal plan, a bunch of food she doesn't even like. She said the meal plan that the trainer gave her had bell pepper sandwiches for 7 days straight. I said, what's a bell pepper sandwich? She said it's like bell peppers instead of bread and then meat. I was like, girl, do you even like that? Like, is that something that's appetizing to you? She was like, no. And I told her, like, I don't want to follow this, but she's just like, you have to suffer through it. You just have to do it. Like, if you want to lose weight, you'll do what I say. And so we talked about it. And this is something a lot of women deal with. They sign up for these programs or challenges where it's these strict rules. They're eating foods they don't even like. And the person doesn't tell them, oh, you're right. Let's make it more customized. They're like, if you really wanted this, you would eat the food. That doesn't help long term because then you end up feeling like, oh, I'm the problem if I don't want to eat this nasty bell pepper sandwich, right? But you're not the problem. The problem is it's not really personalized to you. So, for example, in our coaching program, if our clients don't want to eat bell peppers, if they don't want to eat cottage cheese, if they don't want to eat, oranges or whatever, they don't have to. We actually have our own technology we created that creates 100% personalized meal plans for our clients. So if our client says, hey, I really like eating turkey sandwiches for lunch. I like spaghetti for dinner. I like oatmeal or cereal for breakfast. Our smart technology, our AI meal planner basically will spit out a meal plan that meets all of their calorie and macro needs, which we calculate for our clients, and ensures that everything they're eating is stuff they already like, but just portioned correctly for their goals, or if it needs to be swapped. So if they're eating maybe Fruity Pebble cereal, maybe they'll have a higher protein, lower sugar, higher fiber cereal instead that's still a Fruity Pebbles flavor. So because of this, they can actually sustain what they're eating long term because it's everything they already like, just reportioned and repackaged for their goals versus eating bell pepper sandwiches when you really like turkey sandwiches with bread. Even if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, bread is not bad. It's all about portion control. So if you feel like you keep failing and you keep going back to old habits, it's that you haven't built lifestyle changes. You keep following a plan. And a lot of times that plan is not built for you, it's not sustainable, and it's too restrictive. The second reason you keep going back to old habits, and this one is deep, so I want you to hear me really, really well. It's the fear of failure. What fear of failure means in weight loss terms is you believe you could probably lose a little bit of weight, right? Say you want to lose 30 pounds total. You believe you could lose 5, maybe 10 pounds, but you don't believe that you can lose 30 pounds and maintain it. You have a fear that you'll never be able to do that, that you're destined to look the way you do now for the rest of your life. And so because you have that fear, you sabotage your weight loss journey because you're like, I don't want to lose weight and then regain it. And then people see that. I feel embarrassed. You don't believe that you can get to where you want to be. So you sabotage before you even get there, right? It's basically your brain trying to keep you safe. So if your brain says, hey, Soraya, I know that you don't have it in you to lose 30 pounds and keep it off. So when you lose 10, I'm going to make you go back to your old habits so that you don't feel the disappointment of losing 30 pounds and then re-getting it all back and feeling like a failure and feeling embarrassed and having people ask you, hey, what happened to you? Like you lost weight, but now you gained it back. So fear of failure is a big part of the reason I find a lot of women struggle to stay consistent because it's very subconscious. You don't realize it, but your brain subconsciously is saying, I don't believe you can do this and achieve it forever. So I'm going to sabotage you before you get there to save you the embarrassment that's going to happen. This could also show up like if you're wanting to sign up for a program like ours, where if you look at our program page and you look at our client testimonial videos, our clients' results, our program works. It works. Whether in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, menopause, PCOS, hypothyroidism, it works. But fear of failure might show up as you saying, oh, I've spent all this money on things in the past and they didn't work. The program seems great, but I can't stay consistent. That's a fear of failure because even though the evidence in front of you says this clearly works, this has clearly worked for women just like you, your brain's trying to keep you safe saying, yeah, but I have a fear that I'm not going to be able to stick to it, that I don't have the ability to get to where I want to be. So I'm going to tell myself consciously, oh, it doesn't align with my budget, or I can't stay consistent with it, or I have other priorities because you have a deep-seated fear that even though the approach is great, that you won't be able to stay consistent with it. So it sabotages you with actually following through. It sabotages you with getting the help that you need to follow through. All that comes down to a fear of failure. And this actually reminds me of a client who graduated from our program a couple months ago. When she first applied and watched our program overview video that I sent her after she was approved, she was like, yeah, this is not going to work for me right now. Like, no. And then a week later, she came back and was like, I really feel like I need this program, but I'm just so scared to invest the money. And we kind of chatted about it via text to figure out what was going on. And she basically was like, I have struggled with my relationship with my body and my weight for my whole life. Like I've always done these really strict things to lose weight. She told me that in her younger years, she would do a competition with her friends to see who could not eat the longest, right? And that was something fun that they did, who could starve themselves basically for the longest period of time. She'd always do these really strict diets, do these really crazy challenges. And so she lost weight a million times during her lifetime, but she could never keep it off because she always did it in a very strict way. And that in her mind was the only way to lose weight, by punishing herself, starving herself, restricting herself. And so because of that, as a result, she was now in her 50s and she was not the weight she wanted to be because it's like, I can't maintain those things long term. And I keep going back to my old habits. On top of that, she had a family history of obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, and her mom actually suffered with all those conditions. And she was like, I'm just so scared that I'm going to end up just like my mom. My mom tried all the gadgets, all the challenges, all these things, and still ended up being overweight, out of shape, and on all these medications. And she was like, I'm looking like I'm going in the same direction. So her fear was, I've done all these things, they haven't worked, and your program sounds great, but I feel like I'm the problem. And I told her, I was like, hey, it sounds like the biggest problem is you've done all these things that work on paper, but you haven't changed your relationship with food. your relationship with your body. You haven't overcome your self-sabotaging behaviors. You haven't overcome fear of failure. And so that's a big part of our program. We have our own therapists. We do mindset work around all those different topics. And on top of that, we help you figure out exactly how much of the foods you like to eat to lose weight, the exercise to do. I was like, so if we help you with the mindset, the nutrition, and the fitness component, there's literally no way you can fail. She trusted me. She signed up for the program. And 3 months later, she's a completely different person. She went to the doctor a week before she graduated from the program. All her health markers had improved: blood pressure, cholesterol, A1C, everything had improved. She's down 15 pounds. She feels stronger, more toned, more confident in herself. She's losing weight in a way where she can still eat all things that she likes. And for the first time in a long time, she's like, you know what? I really feel like the changes that I've made are sustainable. They're part of my lifestyle. It's like second nature, like brushing my teeth. And so she was like, the biggest part of the program that really changed my life is the mindset component. Right? Because with everything else I tried in the past, I went back to old patterns because those old patterns were me. But with this program, I changed who I am. I changed my identity. And because of that, these new patterns are who I am. So I say that to say, if you want to stop going back to old habits, you have to stop focusing on following a plan or a strict routine and focus on changing your mindset, your fear of failure. And as a result, our client, like I said, lost 15 pounds and is a completely new person, better health markers, and she's maintained it because it's truly her new lifestyle. And speaking of which, number three, the reason you keep going back to old habits is because you never changed your relationship with food. So if you follow, for example, a 30-day challenge where you're eating chicken, vegetables, and maybe, maybe rice, maybe they give you rice for a meal every day, you stick with it. But then the moment you go out to a restaurant, the moment you go out to eat with friends, the moment you go on vacation and there's other foods in front of you, you go haywire. You're like, oh, I want that. I want that. I want that. And it's because you only feel like you have control with food when you're in a controlled environment like your home. You don't know how to still have the cake, the cookies, the wine, whatever it is in moderation. It's like it's all or nothing. Either I'm eating clean, quote unquote, or I'm just going haywire. I have no self-control. And because of this, you could do well for 30 days doing some sort of challenge, but then day 31, you want to reward yourself because you did so good during the challenge. And that's because you don't have a healthy relationship with food. With our clients, they're not waiting for day 31 or waiting for the weekend to have certain things. If they like to have pizza, if they like pasta, we help them create a lower calorie, lower sugar, whatever, healthier version of that that they can have weekly or every day as a lunch, or as a dinner, or as a breakfast. Because those foods are not bad, it's just you over consuming the calories or having a lot of sugar. So when you heal your relationship with food, food is not good or bad, broccoli is not good, pizza's not bad. Food is just neutral. It's there to fuel you, and you don't overconsume things like cookies because you know I could have a cookie tomorrow if I wanted to because I can eat it in moderation, versus not having cookies because you're on a 30-day challenge. And then the moment someone puts cookies in front of you, which used to be me, you eat like 3 of them because you're like, oh, I don't know when the next time is I'm going to be able to have cookies. Reason number 4, you keep going back to old habits is because the workout routine you try to follow is not realistic for your real life. We primarily work with busy professional women, women who are executives, women in leadership, things like that. So because of that, a lot of them have really busy schedules. They're managing a team, maybe managing a household, a lot's going on. So if you've done something before where you have to work out every single day, 45 minutes to an hour, you got to walk 20,000 steps a day, that's not realistic. You might be able to do it for a week, maybe a month, but long term, it's not happening. And so what happens is you are trained to believe that if I want to lose weight, I have to do all this exercise. And because that feels overwhelming, you just don't even try to start again. Or you feel like that doesn't work for my schedule, so I just can't do it. So that's not actually true. With our clients, we customize their workout routine based on their schedule, what makes sense for their real life, because we want to make sure that what they're doing is something they can continue doing on their own. So we have one client, for example, she works like 50 hours a week, mom of 3, executive, travels for work often. It was going to be a lot for her to start walking and strength training on top of doing other things. So we just started with walking. We set a step goal for her every day. She can do that while on the phone, on meetings. She could do it on a walking pad in her home at a desk. She could do it during lunch break. That was more manageable for her. Just by walking without even strength training, just by walking and focusing on nutrition, she lost 20 pounds in her late 40s. We have another client. She works a typical 40-hour work week. Her kids are adults, so they're not really in the house. She had a little bit more free time. So we started her with walking and strength training 3 times per week because she was a beginner and she was strength training at home. She also lost 20 pounds working with us. And so the thing is, Like our first client, she started with walking and we added in strength training a while after, like after she lost 20 pounds and she had a little bit more time, work calmed down, we added in strength training. But for our other client, she had more free time to begin with, so we started with both. But this is important because a lot of times we think I have to do everything at once to get results. Strength training is very important for women over 35, right? But if that's going to be overwhelming for your schedule, I'd rather you not be overwhelmed and super stressed than be overwhelmed, stressed, and get everything in because you're not going to stick with it long term. And that's going to raise your cortisol levels. So, the reason that you keep going back to old habits with exercise is because you have not found an exercise routine that works for your schedule, which is why you want to work with someone who will customize your workout routine to work for your schedule. The next reason you keep going back to old habits is because you've never addressed self-sabotage. You do well for a week, you see the scale go down, you want to celebrate by going to dinner, and then you overdo it at dinner, and then the whole weekend, and then Monday you're back up to your original weight. Or you're doing really well, and then you go on vacation, you're just enjoying yourself, you come back feeling bloated, heavy, you try to go like really strict by doing a juice cleanse or starving yourself. That feels like too much, and then you just go back to old habits. Work gets crazy, you stop working out, you just eat fast food again to get through it. You're stress eating. So these are some examples of self-sabotage that I see a lot of times with women. And so it's not that you need to be more strict or more motivated. You need to address your self-sabotaging patterns. We have an entire exercise we do in our program with our clients to help them overcome self-sabotage. Because, for example, we had a client who, whenever work got stressful, she would send her husband out to get some McDonald's and she would like binge on a large fry and a McDonald's like meal. And so every time she was stressed at work, that's an extra like 1,000 calories she's consuming. And we were like, if we just fix this self-sabotaging, emotional eating, stress eating thing you have going on, then you're going to lose weight just by that alone because you're saving 1,000 calories every time this emotion comes up. We worked through self-sabotage, and the next time she had a stressful day at work, she paused and said, you know what? Typically, I would do this. But instead, she sent her husband out to get a healthier meal from Panera Bread. She had that. She actually got her work done. The next day, she felt so good about herself and so good in her body. And she was like, wow, making this different decision made me feel so much better. And now that's her default when she has a stressful moment. So, this is why self sabotage is really important to address because when you address that, it makes staying consistent a lot easier because outside factors don't impact your decisions. So, if you truly want to lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life and stop going back to old habits, you need to build sustainable lifestyle changes instead of following some sort of strict plan. You need to heal your relationship with food. You need to overcome self-sabotage, fear of failure, and have a routine that actually works for your specific lifestyle. If you focus on those things, not only will you lose the weight and keep it off forever, but you actually feel confident in your day-to-day habits because you know the things that you're doing are manageable and sustainable for the rest of your life. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Fit and Fulfilled show today. I hope you walked away with practical strategies you can start using to feel more confident, fulfilled, and energized in your day-to-day life. And if you found this helpful in absolutely any way, I ask that you please subscribe and share this with a friend that you think would find it valuable so they can benefit from this information as well. And if you're a busy professional woman who wants to lose 20 to 50 pounds in a healthy, sustainable way without cutting out your favorite foods, then I highly invite you to apply for our coaching program, the Fit and Fulfilled Academy. In the Academy, we help busy professional women like you by providing the coaching, support, and guidance with nutrition, fitness, and mindset to help you achieve lasting weight loss. All the details are down below. Next week, we're diving into a brand new topic that you're not going to want to miss. But until then, remember, you deserve to feel as confident in your body as you do in your career. Take care.